The group stage here at Women's EuroBasket 2019. Two crunch matchups still to come in Group D. First up, three-time champions Russia simply have to win against a battle-hardened Belarus side that's already taken one big scalp. Welcome along to Crystal Hall. The group of death is living up to that label here in Zrenjanin, Serbia. It's threatening to swallow up and spit out the three-time European champions Russia. They arrive at the final group game 0-2. Belarus with a 1-1 record so far. The group winners will go directly to the quarterfinals. The second and third place teams go to the quarterfinal qualifier round. This is simply a must-win for Russia, and even that could see them eliminated on a three-way tie if Serbia beat Belgium this evening. A win here takes Belarus through. A defeat would leave them relying on a Serbia win tonight. And if the three-way tie materializes, it all comes down to head-to-head records and points differential. I'm Tim Long. Alongside me is Great Britain men's assistant coach Lloyd Gardner. Lloyd, there's not much to be certain about in terms of the standings, but one thing is for certain, we're set to have no shortage of drama here today.
That's absolutely right, Tim. You called it the group of death, and we expected it to be close throughout, and you can see that today. Still all to play for. You know, these two teams here really up against it now. Russia came into this one great through qualifying, great in the warm-up games, but they haven't produced that form here yet. Now, they have faced off against Serbia and Belgium, two of the medal contenders for this competition. So they've had a rough start to this competition, but there's still time for them to get back into it with a win today, but they're going to have to play better.
Russia 0-2 so far, suffered a huge 5-minute drought down the stretch of game one to lose by 13 against Belgium, and then struggled again late on in game two against Serbia. They were level at the start of the fourth before losing the period and the game by 14. They've struggled to create and shoot so far, averaging just 11.5 assists and 16.5 turnovers, and shooting just 7 of 34 from downtown, just 21%.
Well, that's the key, and it gets no easier for them because they're playing off against a Belarus team which has been very good at forcing three-point shots from the wrong people. So it's going to be a really interesting battle today. But for Russia, they'll look at it and go, they match up much better with Belarus than the way they did against Serbia yesterday.
At 1-on-1, Belarus dug deep on defense to frustrate Serbia in game one, before finally falling at the hands of Sonia Petrovic's game winner for the hosts in the final 2 seconds. They picked themselves back up to shock Belgium in game two with an equally gritty performance. They've battled hard to average 17.5 offensive rebounds, 6.5 steals and 3 blocks per game so far. The big difference for them in game two was they found their range on offense as well, knocking down 10 threes at 39% accuracy, having hit just 18% in game one.
Yeah, well, it's unfair of us to have not talked about them really up until this point. You know, this has been a Belarus team which came in as arguably the underdogs within this group, but they've won a game and they've gone to a buzzer beater with 2 seconds to go against the two best teams in this group. Tremendous performances so far from Belarus. The question is, can they get that one step further now?
The underdogs have been dogged and diligent so far, particularly on defense. We'll pause now for the two national anthems.
National anthem of Belarus.
the decisive game day of the group stage at Women's EuroBasket 2019 here in Group D. Three-time Queens of the Continent Russia and 2007 bronze medalist Belarus are set to battle for a result that could see them stay in the competition. Myself, Tim Long, alongside GB Men's assistant coach Lloyd Gardner to call the action here in Zrenjanin, Serbia. Your officiating team today from Poland and Great Britain. Friday's big win for Belarus saw them snap a 6-game losing streak in this competition to give themselves a legitimate shot at returning to the knockout stages. Three-time champions Russia have been one of the most offensively dangerous teams throughout this tournament's history, but have only averaged 58.5 points per game so far here in Zrenjanin. 20-year-old Maria Vadieva is their superstar centre. She fouled out after shooting just 3 of 10 from the field in Friday's defeat. Club teammate Raisa Musina had 12 points per game in qualifying, only shot 25% from the field at this tournament so far. And Yekaterina Fedorenkova has been the most utilised point guard. Yelena Beglova, who averaged 5.3 assists per game in qualifying, is one of several who've underperformed so far.
Well, Vadieva is the key. We see the numbers there, the averages, but they were much higher after game one. Really struggled against a smaller Serbian lineup. Much better matchups for her today. Hopefully she's going to stay out of foul trouble. She's going to have to get a lot of low post touches for Russia.
For Belarus, Anastasia Veremienko there has been superb, averaging 14 points, 8.5 rebounds and 2 blocks per game. But Alex Bentley stepped up big time in Friday's win with a team-high 19 points. Maria Papova has averaged 8 points and 9 boards. But as a team in general, it's their defense that's really stood out, Lloyd.
Yeah, absolutely. It's on the defensive end where they've won these games. They've been, if this game is in the 50s or 60s, that's good for Belarus. You know, they have lost just 2 games. They only won 2 games in the warm-up where they scored 70 points. Outside of that, any games in the 70s, they were defeated. And those 2 warm-up games that they won were against Estonia, who aren't even in this competition. Bentley is the key. She had a great game there against Belgium. You see the difference in the numbers. You referred to them. She controls the tempo so well. She really looks after the ball. She sets the control for the Belarus team. But as you said, Tim, on the defensive end where she's really valuable as well. She's got to continue to play smart off the ball.
Well, Langer is the German head coach of Russia. What a big job it is for him and his team here today to get the win they need. Ideally, they want to win by a big margin against this Belarusian team coached by Natalia Trafimova, but of course with their defense that will certainly be hard to do, especially with those offensive numbers the Russians have put up so far. 58.5 points per game. They've made just 7 threes through the course of the 2 games so far, fewer than any other team in the competition, and they've lost their first 2 games for the first time since 2013 at this tournament. They have never lost 3 in a row at this stage.
Well, the 3-point shooting's the key. You said, Tim, there's only 2 teams that haven't scored double-figure threes in their first 2 games. Russia only has 7, so they are one of those 2 teams, and they're going to have to knock it down, and especially against the Belarus team that give you that shot whenever you want it. Vadieva is going to have a better matchup defensively, but they are going to hound her all over the floor. The moment she gets in the low post, they'll try and take away her space.
Belarus have reached the semi-finals in 3 of their 6 previous appearances in the competition, but they lost all 3 games in 2017. They got back in business here a couple of days ago. Now looking to go to the knockout stages again. This is Judgment Day in the group of death. Only one of these teams can survive and go on to the knockout stages in Belgrade. Belarus begin the day in the better position. Russia know this is quite simply do or die. Belarus can still lose and go through, but they don't want to be relying on what happens later between Serbia and Belgium. The permutations are plentiful, the tension is tantalizing, the atmosphere will be agonizing, and the start for Russia will be fast.
Wow, that's a great start. Points on the board early, good tempo, you know, for them to get some transition baskets. That's what they're going to have to continue with.
And a foul on the inside as the high pass went over the top of Victoria Gasper.
It's an unneeded one as well. They switched Valiakova on the tough matchup against Gasper. The pass was way over the head. It would have gone out of bounds. She didn't need to commit the foul in that situation.
Let's see if Belarus can make the most of that slice of good fortune. Snitsina. There's Gasper, this time playing the entry passer. South turnaround, fade away, jumper from Papova.
Offensive rebounds, second offenses, whether it's Paula gone out of bounds. You know, those rebounds, they were really beneficial for Belarus. Last game out against Belgium.
Musina, over on the far side. She's been one of the best rebounders here so far. Shot short from Vadieva, further away than she would like it. Nektarovic. Belarus looking for their first lead. Just about recovered by Snitsina. Here goes Bentley, looking to show her energy early on perhaps. The screen comes across from Gasper. They move it around the perimeter, then look to drive into the foul line. Off the mark, Papova.
Very good defensive sequence from Russia. They look really engaged on that end of the floor. They can find their rhythm offensively early. That'll really help them.
Belarus off with the one-woman offense. And all the way, coast to coast goes Nektarovic. Belarus lead for the first time.
Points are important in this game. Obviously, they are in every game, but in one like this, we expect to be low scoring. Those little transition points mean a lot.
Beglova for three. Another long ranger off the mark for Russia. Bentley will dictate the tempo here. A three-pointer for Belarus, knocked down by Maria Papova. And it's a 7-0 surge for Belarus.
Oh, he said Russia got the quick start. That easy basket, wondered if it'll help him, but since then, offensively, it's been a struggle, hasn't it? Vadieva still hasn't got a touch on the low post yet. Been shooting a lot of these threes, and finally they make one.
Elena Beglova steps up when Russia needed something from the outside. And stop that 7-0 run and get back within two. Papova pressed towards centre court. Was prodded over by Musina and recovered in the backcourt by Papova. Nektarovic to heave it towards the end of the shot clock. Still have 3 seconds to work with. Beglova racing down the floor. Snitsina getting back in transition. Vadieva wants to go one-on-one with Gasper here. Uses her footwork and her power through the paint to finish.
I think they've got to go to her really early here because Veromienko isn't on the floor. She's going to come in, and that's a tough matchup for Vadieva. So the more they can get out of her before Veromienko comes on the floor, the better.
Bentley was 5 of 8 from downtown in that big performance 2 days ago. Misses that one though. Russia level and now trying to get themselves ahead again. Musina down the baseline over the head. Attempt and a chance to run the floor now for Belarus. Nektarovic into Papova. Heavily involved early on. She's up against Vadieva here. Snitsina. Nektarovic. And Bentley as they work it around the perimeter. 7 left to shoot. Bentley calls for the screen from Gasper. Contested shot, got fouled and put it in. A big Belarusian blow to the chin of the 3-time champions.
Well, in the build-up, we talked about how good Belarus are on the defensive end, and it's plays like this that they don't make. They get you to the end of a shot clock. They force you to shoot the shot that they want, which was probably that one there. Contested, hand up, coming off the dribble, but Bentley makes it, and then she's fouled. So another foul on the count, another foul against an individual from Russia, and the chance for the bonus point, which she makes. A really, really young play. You know, inexperienced play from Russia, and that's what has happened to them throughout this tournament so far.
Belarus by 3 off that 3-point play from Alex Bentley. Musina to Vadieva. She's got the bit between her teeth early on, misses though. She tried to get away from Gasper. Bentley on the burst, fouled from behind.
It's an intentional foul. She knew exactly what she was doing, trying to stop the transition. But this is the problem where they commit the 2 cheap ones. Now they're on 3 personal or 3 team fouls, sorry, already. Only 4 minutes in. The use of fouls is so important in the modern game. You know, not only knowing when to foul, knowing when not to foul as well. You don't want to commit cheap ones.
Snitsina open spot for the 3-point shot. Off the mark. She's struggled with her shot so far here. Only 5 of 25 from the field now. Beglova. Crosses over onto the left hand, kicks it back out. Three-point shot, Belarus. Doesn't go down. Rebound well reeled in there by Papova. Papova had a 10-point, 10-rebound double-double in game 1. 6 points, 8 rebounds and 3 assists in game 2. She's been a key part of this Belarus effort here. Liktarovic grabs her own rebound, misses again, third time lucky perhaps. And there's a whistle, a foul on Vadieva. So that's 4 on Russia in a little over 4.5 minutes.
It's the second offensive rebound, which is the real backbreaker. You know, you force them to the miss, you give up the offensive rebound, and then it's compounded by yet another mistake, and now they've got to play defense for another 14 seconds or so here.
Bentley threatened this shot, clung onto it up against Beglova. This time she'll take it over the top of her, and it hits it. Another good start from Alex Bentley.
Absolutely, we highlighted her for a reason. She makes the shot, and the other thing that enables Belarus to do, get all the defense back behind the ball. Now look how slow it is from Russia.
Vadieva. Shot from the far side from Musina. They just haven't found their range really at any point yet in this tournament, Russia. Snitzer around to Bentley, skips away from one, runs into the big frame of Vadieva and a foul. So there you go, Russia at the foul limit already, only just over the midway point of the quarter. And from this moment on, it's going to be foul shots all the way to the end of the period.
Yeah, but more importantly than that, a second against Vadieva. So Masha Vadieva goes out, and yesterday when that happened, that was Russia's hopes heading to the bench as well for qualification. So, you know, they're going to have to step up. They played better in the second half without her yesterday. It kind of changed the way the game went, but we'll see whether they can have a similar impact with this lineup here today.
Vadieva had a 20-point, 11-rebound double-double in game 1 and then fouled out with just 8 points and 3 boards in game 2. A really frustrating evening for her, only making 3 of 10 from the field. Russia are down by 7 here. Shilova. She'll throw up the 3 and gets nothing but net. Anastasia Shilova.
Second 3 of the game from Russia. And Shilova had a good game. Last one out as well. She was one of those players that did come with a very good performance.
There goes Bentley. Lost the handle on the ball, able to recover. Back out, Papova puts it up and puts it in. Bentley and Papova, 7 points each for Belarus. 14 of their 16 so far. Vieira with the entry pass and a foul as it went in towards Maiga. The first foul from Belarus. It's taken over 6 minutes.
And we know they don't have a deep rotation on the inside. First game out, we saw Papova, Gasper, Veromienko all playing with foul problems. So if you can draw fouls against them, they don't really seem to be keen or have anything on the bench on the inside to bring in.
Shilova to Fedorenkova. And there's another foul on Papova as Maiga is coming out.
Yes, her second.
Papova was one of those players who picked up 3 very early in game 1 and then a 4th at the start of the second half and was still able to survive throughout the game. Finished with that double-double. 3-point shot, Belarus. Snitsina reeling in the rebound. Belarus by 6, 3.5 to play here in the first. Liktarovic. Papova will remain on the floor with those 2 fouls. Bentley. Here is Papova again, spinning into the lane. Offensive foul called against Papova, so that's her 3rd.
It's big minutes coming up here for Gasper and Veromienko. I wonder if there's any desire from Coach Langer to bring back Vadieva, see if she can go at the pair of them, draw fouls on either of them. It'll be a risky tactic, but you know, at this time of the competition, maybe it's something that they need.
Lishkovtseva for Russia. Goes around the screen of Vieru. Clings onto it on the foul line. Here's Maiga. She's going to shoot the three and hits it. Jocelina Maiga, Russia's third triple.
Foot was on the line, I think. He was given as a 2. But showing the range. It's all working for them on the outside today. Positive for Russia. Scoreboard's been moving.
Maiga hit 2 of her first 3 shots of the tournament. After that strong start, she was only 2 of her last 11. So great to get back in business for her.
And this is what we're talking about. Look, just a rip through from Gasper. Maiga's got her hands out. It's a foul. And now that results in 2 shots. Not only is it, you know, the foul, all that type of thing that we've talked about, but again, from the free throw line, it's very hard to run any transition. So where we say, you know, Russia need to try and get that tempo up, you know, get some easy scores, have the scoreboard ticking over. Belarus make it very difficult when they can get to the line.
6 fouls in a little over 7 minutes for Russia. Belarus up by 5. Maiga's handoff. Vieru around the perimeter to Shilova. Maiga again. Fedorenkova. She's going to shoot another outside shot. Misses this time, curling away from the basket. The rebound gathered by Veromienko. Gasper. Veromienko. Cross to the far side to Rytikova. Veromienko against Vieru. Far side of the paint. Looking to take her on. Spins around. And the shot falls well short. Battling underneath though.
Oh, shot clock got reset. Yeah. It shouldn't have. So the referees have stopped it. Ball didn't hit the ring. So I think it's going to be a 24-second violation. Really good defense on the low post from Vieru on that possession. No help really. She just guarded it straight up against Veromienko.
Vieru had 6 rebounds and a block in 12 minutes in game 1, and then 5 rebounds, including 4 offensive rebounds, 2 blocks and a steal, but only played 7.5 minutes in game 2. That was a question in the press conference as to why she didn't get longer on court, Lloyd.
Yeah, it was. The question was asked, but you know, for Russia, the game against Serbia was such a tough matchup because it essentially pulled all of their bigger players out of the game, made it really hard for them to be used.
They're putting 3 seconds back on the shot clock, so it's still going to be Belarus ball.
Seems generous, 3 seconds.
Don't need to inbound. And it goes, a chance to turn and unload for Gasper, but misses everything. Finally, we do get our shot clock violation. Final 2 minutes of the first quarter. Belarus by 5. Maiga. Lishkovtseva moves it back to Fedorenkova. And it goes a chance one-on-one. Vieru got fouled. Wouldn't quite drop for her. She'll have to earn them both from the line.
Well, the question was asked in the press conference. Looking pretty valid right now. Vieru been a game changer since she's come in. Guarded Veromienko very well indeed. And now she's drawing that contact against Gasper, so that's her first. Remember, Paparova's already out.
Natalia Vieru, one of many players in this Group D that won the Women's EuroLeague last season with UMMC Ekaterinburg. Looking to get Russia backward in 3, and she does. Russia's first trip to the line.
Goes zone, not bad tactic, not a lot of shooters on the floor for Belarus.
Tarasova had 5 assists in 7.5 minutes in game 2. 5 points as well in that limited time. They've worked it around beautifully here for the 3-point shot. Liktarovic couldn't convert though.
I think Russia take that, this lineup is sensible going to that zone, but can't turn it over that way.
And here comes Liktarovic, looking for the trail, going all the way herself. Veromienko the rebound. Tarasova, no play in the half court. Gasper, contested shot, misses, grabs her own rebound with a bit of a helping hand from Liktarovic. Russia just can't seem to grab the loose ball at all. Liktarovic down on the deck wrestling for it.
That's the difference there. It's what, 3 offensive rebound, ball's on the floor. Liktarovic straight over it. Look, Russian players all on their feet, all trying to pick it up, roll it towards himself. Liktarovic, no regard for own safety, just dives on the floor and ties it up for our team.
Perfectly illustrates the battling qualities of Belarus, who've averaged 17.5 offensive rebounds a game. They've got 6 already here.
That's incredible.
Rasova. Inbounds to Itikova. Voromienko moves it on quickly to Gasper, spins away, shoots beyond the rim though, and a foul on the baseline on Liktarovic. Against Liktarovic.
Works out well. Finally a box out. There's going to be 2 shots coming because of it.
We've seen a few shots from Belarus not even touch the rim. They're only 6 of 19 from the field for 32%, but they've taken 5 more shots.
Yeah. This isn't a great offensive lineup for Belarus. Bentley's out, Sina's out as well, and then obviously Papova with the foul trouble. Russia went press to zone last time. I'd like to see the press be more aggressive. Last time it was just kind of there to slow them down. I think with this lineup, with no Bentley on the floor, you can get after Belarus, see if you can get some steals and some turnovers.
Russia have been down by 7. They've closed the gap to 2.
It's just such a passive press. I think if you're trying to raise this tempo, if you need to win, get after them, get some steals.
Tarasova. Voromienko comes out. Tarasova left unguarded for 3. Wouldn't go down. There's a foul underneath.
And the problems with the boards.
It's on Vieru. Fouls are really stacking up for Russia.
They're evenly distributed though. That's the benefit of them. So it's only Verieva that's got a problem with the 2. Papova on the other side has 3 already.
Victoria Gasper cool at the line. Belarus ahead by 4. 2.5-second differential between shot and game clock at the end of the first quarter. Crossing over Begleva. Moves it on here to Leshkovskova. Trying their best to create something on the perimeter, and it's not happening. Shot clock down to 4. Vieru inside, double team. They'll try and kick it back out again, and it just didn't happen for Russia.
Someone's got to step up and shoot. I'm just looking at Coach Langer. He told them exactly that. He looked at Levchenko and told her, you have to shoot it. He's going to bring Fedorenkova in. It was a bit more of an offensive threat.
Only 1.5 seconds remaining for Belarus to throw something up here. We've seen a number of buzzer beaters on this court already. And this would be something special. Itikova.
You're thinking about subbing Alex Bentley in, wouldn't you? She's the king of the buzzer, or the queen of the buzzer beaters.
Certainly had plenty of time to think about it. There seems to be a bit of a confusion over on the far side on the scorers table. And on the Russian bench as well. It's going to have been a very promising first quarter for Belarus, though. 19 points. And, at the least, a 4-point lead. And they're changing the clock. 2.6 seconds.
Long time.
Plenty of time for Belarus to get a look. It's heaved up from centre court. And nowhere near in the end. Belarus one step closer to a place in the knockout stages, but plenty more twists and turns still to come here at the end of 1. Belarus 19, Russia 15.
We'll be back. Katya. You don't Slitsina. Your husband is more mobile. He was in Vermenka, as in your Vermenka, you're the other one. When
Что ты хочешь дать Дане, что ты хочешь дать вот этому игроку.
Welcome back to Crystal Hall in Zrenjanin, Serbia. We're ready to get the second quarter underway. Belarus up by 4 against Russia. And the leading team shooting just 29% from the field. Russia shooting 36%, Lloyd. But the offensive rebound count 7-0 in Belarus's favour.
At this moment in time, Tim, for me, it's about the effort areas. That's it. The offensive rebound, a majority of those have just been effort areas where Belarus have outworked Russia. We talked about the loose ball being on the floor. We talked about, you know, all these little plays. They're going in favour of Belarus. That's not luck. That's the effort that they're putting in comparison to the Russian players. And for Russia, they've got to understand, if they don't win, they're done. So they have to win the game first and foremost. You get to the fourth quarter, you can start thinking about the points difference and if you can make it an automatic qualification out of here, or if you're going to look at the result of the other game. But first and foremost, you've got to win here. And I haven't seen anyone really putting out their effort that's going to take to overcome a Belarus team which has been in a game with everyone.
Maria Vadieva's coming back in on 2 fouls for the start of the second to try and change things for Russia.
See, she's got to be better yesterday with fouls. Yesterday, she just completely opted out on the defensive end when she picked up the 2 fouls. She's still got to play defense, but she's just got to be really smart about what she does.
Vieru still on the court as well, so it's a big lineup for Russia. Beglova will take the long-range 2. Vieru battling for the rebound. It comes to Vieru. She grabs her own rebound again. And there you go, no offensive rebounds in the whole of the first quarter, 2 at the start of the second.
Well, that's exactly what Vieru's done, right? Rebounded. She's played hard on the defensive end. She's picked up these loose balls. That's all she's been doing out there, and she's having success. If I'm Russia, they've got to use Vadieva here. You know, she's got 2 fouls. You're not going to be able to play her the whole of this second quarter. We saw that yesterday. So when she is on, you've got to maximise her. So give her touches where she can score. Give her touches where she can draw fouls or do things for you as an offensive team. Because in a minute, you're going to have to sub her out again. And you're not going to be able to use her at that point.
Vieru was 2 of 2 from the line on her first trip, but misses that one. This team desperate for each and every point they can get, even at this stage. She misses both of them. Tarasova with the rebound. Snitsina. Vermienka moving it in. Gasper trying to force it up. Grabs her own rebound. Another offensive rebound for Belarus.
It was a switch. Ended up with Musina guarding Gasper at the ring, which is fine. But then if you're a big, you've got to go help. You've got to do your job to help out Musina on the mismatch under the ring.
And a turnover for Russia as it went in towards Musina. It's not quite clicking for his team at this stage, and it hasn't really clicked at any point yet in this group. Snitsina. Belarus's largest lead has been 7. Very close to 8, but it remains at 6. Beglova with the quick pass down the floor. Leshkovtseva forced away back to the outside. Vadieva looking to manufacture room for her teammate. Beglova. Plenty of time to work with. Up against Vermienka. The inside of the paint. Lovely footwork to create the room. Danced her way past the defense. Seven points for Beglova now to lead Russia. Nobody else has more than 3. 4 points the gap. And Vadieva commits foul number 3.
I don't know what the strategy is. I don't know if that's a breakdown by Vadieva or whether that's the strategy, but it's a ball screen. Vadieva's got 2 fouls already. You can't switch her out onto a guard. They're just going to try and attack her off the dribble. She struggled to contain that penetration. You've got to do something different on the defensive end to make sure she stays on the floor. Now she's gone out, like we talked about, she didn't get a touch offensively in those 2 minutes that she was out there, and now somebody else is going to have to do something for Russia here.
Vieru battling again, came up with a steal, forcing that turnover. Liga looking to create some room. Vieru hands it off to Beglova, looking to add to those 7 points. Too long this time, and into the hands of Veremienko. Tarasever on the burst down the lane, misses the layup. Offensive rebound again, this time Gasper. Snitsina. She's looking to attack down the lane, puts it up off one leg, wide of the basket, and Vieru is there. Beglova waiting for the cavalry to arrive. Three-point shot, Musina wouldn't go.
She really struggled with her three-point shot this tournament. She came in with good averages, didn't she, over qualifying, but it's not going on for her from beyond the three-point line, still to make one.
Snitsina has struggled as well. Demonstrates that there.
The thing I find about this Russian team is we got a timeout called. So often you find yourself thinking this is an opportunity for Russia right here, and they just don't ever seem to take it or react in the right way. So I said, Bentley's gone off the floor. They need a double-digit win really to make sure that they're going to qualify. That's the opportunity to get after Belarus. That's the time to really get after them up the floor with pressure. See if you can get some steals, some turnovers, make it an open game. They haven't done that. And now Bentley sat for a good sort of 5 minutes or so. She's well rested. Now she's coming back into the game. They had that opportunity. Papova with the 3 fouls. The front line that's not got a lot of substitution left in it. They could go at Gasper, they could go at Veremienko with Vadieva on the floor. They didn't. So those two played that entire time without picking up another foul. They didn't tire them out by getting up and down. They haven't done anything to take this game. They're just kind of going through the motions. And Belarus are too good in this style of game for you to beat them.
And especially when it's a game that Russia not just need to win, but need to win by as many points as possible, really, as well. We haven't discussed that too much yet because it's something that will materialize at a later point, but it could be a 3-way tie depending on the result of the later game here between Serbia and Belgium. And if it is, then Russia need to win by 11 points or more here. We come back off the timeout with Russia trailing by 4. Just 17 points scored in 13 minutes. Their offense continues to misfire. We talked about the three-point shooting woes for Russia over the first 2 games. They're only 2 of 9 from long range, despite hitting a couple early.
All sorts of problems with the scoreboard here. Seems to be reset. Yeah, send the teams to the benches again.
We said, Lloyd, right at the start of this group, game 1, we said there's no time really to warm up, as there so often is in a tournament, and if you're not at it straight away, you can and probably will be punished in this group, and that's the position Russia find themselves in.
Absolutely. I mean, it seems momentum as well has really affected them negatively. So they played their first game. They played pretty well. They were close. They ended up losing. And they come out yesterday really, really difficult game for them, Serbia, just because of the matchups on the floor more than anything. But they come today, and the thing that I just can't get my mind around right now is how Belarus are playing harder than Russia. Just the pure physical effort is the thing that baffles me. This is a game you have to win. It's almost as though they're playing not bothered about whether they qualify or not.
They did have a superb warm-up for the tournament, Russia. They beat Latvia and then Sweden twice. They had impressive wins over Spain, Italy, and group rivals Serbia. An overtime defeat to France, and then they responded to beat Turkey. So it's not as if they came here not prepared.
No, they got through qualifying. They were one of the highest scoring teams in qualifying. I mean, they were helped by a couple of huge results. But it's offensively, they just haven't been here. Really, just having a look back, they were number 3 in points scored, number 1 in assists in the qualification over the last couple of years. That was helped by the fact that, you know, they had 148 points on Albania. But still, this is a team that can score. They just haven't really, like you said, they don't look ready for this competition at this moment in time.
They're a team that are so often usually ready. They are in this tournament for a 14th straight finals, the longest current streak in the competition. They haven't reached the semi-final in any of their last 3 editions, but before that they finished on the podium in the previous 7. 3-time winners of the gold in 2011, 2007 and 2003. Runners-up as well in 2009, 2005 and 2001. 6 straight gold medal matches before falling over those last 3 tournaments. And it doesn't look as though they're going to get back there this time around. There's still plenty of time to change that.
And the other thing is, it means that they aren't on the world level competitions. They haven't been there since London 2012, which for a Russian team which used to dominate world basketball, forget European basketball, world basketball, they're not even qualifying for these tournaments. They're not qualifying for the World Championships. They're not qualifying for the Olympic Games. And that, I'm sure, is a real bone of contention for people within Russian basketball.
As well as 3 golds, 3 silvers and 2 bronzes at EuroBasket since the mid-90s. They've won silver at the 2006, 2002 and 1998 World Championships. Bronze at a couple of Olympics as well. Belarus off the backboard wouldn't go. Bentley the rebound, back in the game. Straight in the thick of the action. 21-17 the score. Veremienko to Papova, who's in with 3 fouls, the number 13. Snitsner will recover the loose ball. Snitsner driving in, it slips through the grasp of Veremienko, and here come Russia now. A 4-on-3 opportunity, bounce pass and a cut to the basket, but no finish at the end of it for Musina. It's one of those opportunities again.
Yeah, you just have to hang your head, don't you? Look at this. It's a wide open layup. It's a rare opportunity to run. It means they can get up the floor on their defense after the easy basket as well. Russia have to start making their own luck here. Have to start making these opportunities count.
Snitsner. Looking back out for Veremienko. Chose instead to find Zuskova, the 36-year-old veteran point guard. Papova with the underarm left hand up, wouldn't go. Musina, 12 points per game in qualifying for her. Can she get going here today? She's now 0 of 5 from the field, which makes her 5 of 25 through the tournament.
Still looking for that first 3 as well. The question you ask is, we mentioned a number of these players are these powerful Russian teams. You can see the frustration, but don't have big roles within their club sides. And that's the question, isn't it? Is the roles that they play within their club sides helping their development? Or is it that they are unused to having to play these matches at this level? You know, being the relied players, being ones that have to step up, no excuse to be able to miss in. You know, it's a completely different thing being in practice and being in a game.
In qualifying race, and Musina shot 47% from long range. Like you say, hasn't made one here over the course of 2 and a bit games. The timeout comes as we approach the midway point of the second quarter. Very stop-start second quarter with the issue with the clock as well and the scoreboard. 21-17 remains the score in Belarus's favour. Plenty of time to try and sort things out on the Russian bench. Let's see if they can right the many wrongs that have plagued this performance and this campaign so far. Shilova completely free off the inbound pass. Another miss from the outside. Maiga the offensive rebound though. Beglova. Left-hand dribble drive, had to kick it back out in traffic. Shilova, shot clock down to the final 3 seconds. Forces one, wouldn't go off the backboard, but back-to-back offensive rebounds from Maiga. There goes Shilova, slicing through the defense. Back out, Maiga. Beglova then for 3. Third time lucky, banks it in.
He said, create your own luck, right? They got great work on the offensive glass. Got them the second and third shots. And yeah, you bank it home, but they all count.
Russia from 7 down, back within 1. And Bentley misses a 3 for Belarus. And here come Russia to try and take the lead now. Midway point of the second quarter. Lagunova, the baseline cut. And then the foul on the attempted overhead finish from Belarus.
Again, effort. That's all it is. They ran the floor, got it early into the low post. Nice little movement away from the ball. And they're rewarded with a foul against Romienko.
We had a timeout followed by a problem with the scoreboard, followed by another timeout. And it seems as though finally the message from Olof Lange on the Russian bench has got through to his players. Evgenia Belarus ties the game up. She was 4 of 4 from the line in the last game as part of 9 points, 3 rebounds and 2 assists in game 2. She makes both here. Russia ahead from 7 down. Yulia Tikova to come back in for Belarus. You get the sense that this one is going to be tight and tense for the entirety. Bentley, Papova. Nice pass out to Tikova. Off the bench and in with a bang. Belarus by 2. Maiga hands it off to Belarus. Twisting and turning and finding Maiga again. Defense bites on the pump fake. There was cover behind from Gatsper though. Made the shot awkward for Maiga. Now Russia trying their best to match Belarus on the boards.
Good call here. Vadieva's coming back.
And 3 fouls with 4.5 minutes to play in the first half still.
Got to be smart.
She averaged 16 points, 8.2 rebounds and 2.3 steals in qualifying. Only 20 years of age. Belarus forced up and got it to go. Evgenia Belarus as part of the Russian retaliation.
It's almost like she thought the shot clock was winding down there.
There's 10 seconds left.
Yeah, threw it up. You've got some momentum here, Russia. Again, this is an opportunity.
Just wonder if she saw the 1 of the 11 and thought, yeah, that was it.
Yeah, I think she must have done. This plays like that again. They got that opportunity because of the effort on the offensive glass. You know, a tied-up ball went their way, and that's where they get another chance.
24-24, 4 minutes to play in the first half. Belarus. Beglova moving it on to Lagunova. Trying to work her way down the baseline and find Vadieva, who gets up and running and gets Russia ahead.
This lineup, you know, a couple of players unheralded in the first few games have really stepped up.
Tikova hit that 3 not too long ago for Belarus. It was only their second of the game on 10 attempts. That's only the second foul on Russia here in the second after they were at the limit very early in the first. Bentley to inbound for Belarus. Tikova to Papova. Tikova fouled by Shilova. And there's the 3rd foul on Russia. And that's 3 on Shilova now, as well as 3 on Vadieva for Russia. Papova has 3 for Belarus.
Got to stop committing these cheap fouls.
Bentley to Papova. Zuskova. Shot clock winding down to the final few seconds. Zuskova off the mark. Papova trying to grab the offensive rebound. Vadieva recovers, trapped on the baseline though, and found a way out. Shilova. Those two still on the floor on 3 fouls. Beglova, Vadieva trying to manufacture room for Beglova to work behind. Gunova, and then they work it around through Shilova to Vadieva, back to Shilova again. Left-hand dribble drive off the window, got fouled on her route to the rim.
Much better offense than Russia. Ball movement, players look like they want it as well. Langer's picked up a technical foul. Just feel like they're starting to get into this game. He's got after him a fair bit. I think he won't be upset about the technical either. He wants to fire his team up here.
So a technical foul called on Olaf Langer, the German head coach of Russia. That will be 1 free throw for Belarus. The game effectively stops. We have the technical, and then it resumes where it was. Papova to shoot it. With 1 point to separate these two. Just under 3 minutes to play in the first half. So now we have the foul shots down the other end of the floor for Russia. 2 of them after Anastasia Shilova was fouled on the shot. She had 11 points, 4 rebounds, a steal and a block on Friday after just 2 points in game 1. .27 is the score here. So a 2-point game. Bentley to Papova. Alex Bentley again. Threatens the 3. Takes it on. It opened up for her. She missed the shot though. Rebound grabbed by Gunova. Beglova directing traffic. Vadieva coming out. Gunova looking to hand it back. Uses the movement as a decoy. Musina. Beglova. Raisa Musina. She'll go alone here. Off the window. Got it to go. Raisa Musina, who's been the personification of Russia's struggles, turning things around. And so too are Russia as a team.
Oh, finally, they look like they're coming to life, don't they? You know, first time we've seen Musina really get it, be in the post, be composed, finish, and that's been backed up by some really good defensive sequences as well. They just all of a sudden look like they've got the bit between their teeth. The ball's being passed around with a bit more zip. The players are moving, they're wanting the ball rather than hiding in the corner. Vreu looks like she's coming in as well. Be interesting to see if he takes out Vadieva now. 2 minutes to go. Doesn't want her to pick up that 4th foul.
So Russia from 7 down and now up by 4 off the first points of the game from Raisa Musina, who was 0 of 5 from the field before that layup.
Talked a lot about Russia. For Belarus, though, I think you look at the difference. The first day, why did they have those struggles? Was the 3-point shooting. Yesterday, why did they win? They were excellent shooting the ball today. Yep, 2 of 12. I think that's the thing. You look at Bentley, who you said was 5 of 8. You know, made a big point of it before the game. 0 of 3 she is here today. Liktarovic, 0 of 3. Those two especially. And then Sitsina as well, 0 of 2.
Yeah, Belarus were only 18% from the 3-point line in that game 1 narrow defeat to Serbia, and then 39% in game 2 when they hit 10 3-pointers. Musina, he waits so long and then 2 come along at once.
Again, the energy there, up the floor, bit of pressure, That's why I wondered why they didn't do it when Bentley wasn't out there. I think Belarus have turnovers in them.
Largest lead for Russia. Papova trying to halve it from 3, tipped back to her by Veremeyenka. Bentley threatens the 3, instead goes on the burst to the basket, dancing all the way through the defense, misses the layup though. Bentley, way over the top. Beglova. Oh, good shot, Veremeyenka underneath it. We've seen her working hard again to trap Veremeyenka on the baseline, but she found a way out. Bentley looking to work with Papova. Into the lane, across to the far side. Veremeyenka in the high post. She'll shoot the static 3, misses it. And Belarus can't buy a basket now. It's just 6 points in the quarter for Belarus. Awu misses, Papova grabs the rebound. Pass all the way through to Ratikova, back to Papova. Niktarovic. Can Belarus get something here to get back in business? Yes, they can.
It's a big score, both for her and for Belarus. Niktarovic has been struggling, 1 of 7.
First score in a while for Belarus. Oh, big rebound from Valieva, and the finish as well. Russia turning up the intensity. 6 points the lead, shot clock turned off now at the end of the first half. Ratikova. Niktarovic, 4 to shoot. Ratikova got a good look for 3, missed it, and that will do it. Russia have finally found their flow. They're back from 7 down to lead by 6 at the half. They got going at just the right time here. An 18-8 second quarter to take a 6-point lead into the locker room.
Finally felt like Russia came to play in that second quarter, didn't it? A lot more intent on offense, better energy on defense. And Coach Langer rolled the dice, playing Valieva right down the stretch of that second half with 3 fouls. She survived it. Let's see how long she lasts in that in the start of the second half, because that's going to be a key to this one. For Belarus, they've got the experience. I don't think they'll be rattled yet, but no worrying signs. 6-point game. You know, if they lose by more than 10, then they're pretty much out of it.
Nabovic really feeling it here, moves it on to Brooks, who started to feel it as well.
On Stokes, now the pass up ahead, and great running by Slovenia.
Still chance to throw it up here for Bentley.
Oh!
beating the buzzer at the half, and Belarus, what a backlash from them. Have to shoot. It's Messerman for three, gets Belgium back in business to beat the buzzer.
Go upstairs. Oh. Little simple little sucker punch, but when you've got endurance or athleticism.
Welcome back to Crystal Hall in Zrenjanin in Serbia. A fascinating finish in store in this one, I'm sure. Belarus have led by as many as 7 against Russia, but Russia winning the second quarter by 10, 18-8. And they now lead by 6, 33-27 the score to Russia. It is must win for them, but also what we haven't discussed too much is the magic number for them, 11 points. Now if Russia can win by 11 or more, that will see them through and Belarus out, no matter what happens in the later game here between Serbia and Belgium. And that, of course, now comes into play, and that is the number Russia are going to be targeting here in the second half, Lloyd.
Absolutely. I think that coming into the game, Russia just think about the win. They just say, let's just play, let's make sure we win. In the fourth quarter, that's when you really start to think about the points difference, but they've set themselves up beautifully here. 6 points at half, right on track. And more importantly, that momentum at the end of the half as well, all in favour of Russia. They really started to find their feet. I mean, Coach Langer was frustrated on the sideline. He was getting into his team at the half, in the timeouts, and it seems to have finally paid off for his team. Now, if I'm Belarus, we see Alex Bentley, 7 points, yes. Good numbers, but the key, I think, is the way they're shooting the ball, Belarus, from the outside. And Bentley is one of those people who's going to have to start knocking down some long-range shots. She's 0 of 3. They are 2 of 15 as a team now, Belarus. That's why they've struggled to get points on the board. And really, if you are Belarus, you'll probably try and go at Vadiva early, but you've got to make sure you knock down some shots.
I'm sure there'll be plenty more twists and turns over the course of the next 20 minutes of basketball, as we see one of the standout players for Russia so far to spark the comeback into life. 10 points and 3 rebounds for Beglova, 2 of 4 from downtown. A big boost for them because she hadn't really turned up over the first 2 games in this group. And all of the signs suggest finally it's taken almost 2.5 games, but Russia have started to find their flow and the pieces of the puzzle starting to click into place.
Yeah, but as we've seen from Russia before, you know, it can't be in spells. They've got to have some consistency with what they're doing. They've been known throughout this tournament to have like a really bad spell or multiple bad spells within the course of a game. So what they've got to do is just make sure that the bad quarter was the first one. They've allowed the game to get ahead of them a little bit there, and now they've recovered. Now they have to build by putting together a second half after a really good second quarter.
And part of the spark for Russia in that second quarter, we talked a lot about the offensive rebounding numbers in the first quarter. It was 7-0 in Belarus's favour. In the second quarter, it was 8-4 in Russia's favour.
And that's, we talked the end of that first quarter, the biggest difference was just the effort. Belarus playing harder. They were getting after loose balls. They were fighting on the glass, and Russia just didn't seem to have the fight within them. So I think that changed. And as I said, I think that man there takes some credit for it, the way he tried to motivate his team. Finally, it looked like they started to have that desire to win, to want the ball, you know, and they realized that they can't just be out there and expect things to happen. I said in that first half, like, you make your own luck, and Russia just weren't making it. They weren't making their own luck because they were never around the ball for it to drop to them.
Olaf Langer certainly showed his passion, and you said at the time, Lloyd, that technical that he got might just spark them into life as well. It was well worth taking.
Yeah, I mean, one free throw now, especially with the rule change, it's a very minor infraction. And I wonder whether it was an intentional act by him, because he'd been getting on his team, he'd been firing him up. He wanted to show them that he had that fire about him, and he wanted them to play harder.
Russia certainly did play harder, but At the same time, they committed 7 fouls in the first quarter, only 4 in the second, so they played harder, but the fouls were more worthwhile.
Absolutely. The use of those fouls, like you're talking about, knowing when to do it, knowing when you should foul to stop an opportunity from the other team, and knowing you don't want to foul in this situation because, you know, it's not the right time to foul. It's going to add add to your team's foul count, or if your team has already committed 4 fouls, it might send them to the line unnecessarily, you know, especially when you might have momentum, the other team's struggling for points, a player hasn't got going yet. You don't want to give them those opportunities when you don't have to.
Maria Papova leads Belarus with 8 points. Alex Bentley has 7. Victoria Gasper has 5. And then for Russia, the 10 we saw for Beglova. And 6 for Vadieva, who took a while to get going. 4 each for Belikova and Musina, who missed her first 5 shots, but she since hit her last 2. Shilova has 4 as well. And look at those 2 top scorers for Belarus, though. Papova with 8, Bentley with 7. And those 2 had combined 14 of Belarus's first 16 points, so they've only had 1 since. In the second quarter, the points really were at a premium for Belarus, only 8 after 19 in the first. And Bentley and Belarus and co get back in business here in the second half. We're about to find out, or will Russia remain on a roll? Tatiana Liktarovic to inbound the ball to get us started here in the third quarter. Belarus down by 6 with possession. Bentley, they're going to work with Gasper. Gasper uses her body to create the opportunity to shoot, but missed it, and then steps on the baseline.
Well, they went straight at Vadieva on the pick and roll, see what she does. She'd been switching that ball screen, and they were hoping then Bentley could attack her. She didn't, recovered well, and managed to play defense without fouling.
Vadieva, one of 3 players in the game on 3 personal fouls, along with her teammate Shilova, and then Belarus's Papova.
And they're all on the floor.
Here is Vadieva now on the offensive end. We're going to go at Gasper. Baby hook shot will drop for Vadieva. Russia up by 8.
Same thing I said in the first half. I think every possession needs to go to her in the low post. She's going to have to sit at points because of the fouls, so use her while you can.
Liktarovic spins to the baseline over the top of the defense. Got it to go.
It's a tough finish, Liktarovic. Look at that little cheapie at the end of the first half after struggling.
Vadieva on the perimeter off to Shilova. The 2 players on 3 fouls. Almost travelled with it. Got it back from Vadieva. Shilova trapped by Gasper to the far side. Vadieva prodded away. Shot clock winding down. Has to be forced up over the top of the basket, and that's going to be a shot clock violation. Both teams have protected the ball fairly well. 6 turnovers to 5. Papova into Gasper. Back to Papova on the perimeter. Needs to drive at Maiga. Can't get around her. It was a tough shot. And Papova battling away again. Allowed the opportunity for Liktarovic to go across and to grab the loose ball.
Again from Russia, they've played great defense all their time. They give up an offensive rebound when they shouldn't, and then they commit a foul on the sideline. So it's a foul on the team total. It's a foul against Maiga, who's going to be needed in this second half, and they've given up another possession. They're going to look at it for an unsportsmanlike as well. They can't keep having these breakdowns.
Need the last foul.
Second person for Russia.
Okay, and
Second foul there on Maiga, who grabbed the leg of Liktarovic on the way down.
Yes, this one will be good.
This is exactly what the officials are seeing on their screen.
Okay, she went on her.
It's not clear.
Okay.
It's not clear. One more time in slow motion, if we can. Yeah, maybe this one.
They're asking if she grabbed the leg. That's going to be the key. If she grabs hold of her leg, it'll be an unsportsmanlike foul. If she just kind of falls onto her, then it'll be a regular foul.
It looked like she may have done, but nothing conclusive just yet.
And then
she grabbed the leg over there or not?
She grabbed the leg, her feet, yes, now. And she keeps
so you think this is excessive contact?
It can be because she don't have any reason to do it, and she did it. Look.
So in this one?
Okay, this is not, okay, it's not clear.
I think it's normal foul.
Yeah, normal
she went
foul.
For the ball.
Yes,
yeah. Stay
Could be a referee.
Absolutely. I think this is a right answer, though. You're looking back at it. You can't tell whether she did or she didn't from that angle.
Pushing, normal foul this way.
That's the second personal on Joselina Maiga. Papova's hustle play creating the opportunity, though, again. Can they take it now, Belarus? Liktarovic from the outside, got it. Big Belarus basket.
All of a sudden, she's turned up 1 of 7. She was now made her last 3. Couple of layups and the 3-pointer as well.
There's Maiga trying to fight her way to the basket against Papova. Bentley. Belarus on the comeback trail now. Baseline drive under the hoop across to Snitsina. Able to balance, but turned it over into Russian hands. Beglova. Bounce pass into Vadieva. Goes to work in the low post again and got another double figures now for Vadieva.
It just baffles me why she doesn't get more of those touches around the ring. Last play, she's out by the 3-point line. They're running it from Maiga.
5 of 7 from the field now, Vadieva. 3-point shot gets, but wouldn't go down off the glass.
Chance to run. Vadieva's down the floor early.
Vadieva inside again, got it to fall once more. She's really heated up now.
Bring Veromienko back in, try and slow Vadieva down. It's this end of the floor where she's got to be smart, though.
Snitsina. Looking to go high in traffic.
Open floor again. This is what Russia want, an open game.
Russia looking to run, gun, stun and have some fun. Maiga threatened the 3 and then didn't take it. Belikova, she'll take it on. Got it. Russia on a roll.
Coming from the defense, isn't it? They're getting those stops, getting steals, open floor. And when you've got the open floor, the ball just moves. Belarus so good usually at just killing the game because they score or they kill the tempo, don't let you have those opportunities very often. We've probably seen Russia in that situation more than either of the other 2 teams they've played against.
A timeout called by Belarus, the first double-digit lead of the game. Russia up by 10. And remember, the magic number is 11. If Russia win by 11 or more, then they are through, no matter what happens in the later game here this evening. If Russia win by less than 11, then Belarus need a Serbian win later to go through, and Russia need a Belgian win later to go through. And if Belarus can come back from behind and completely turn this game on its head and win it, then they are through. Looking at Vadieva here, who's up to 12 points to lead all scorers in the game. 6 of 8 from the field, 7 rebounds as well.
She's just such an efficient scorer. She gets going.
Belarus 32, Russia 42. Liktarovic. 3.5 minutes into the second half. It goes in towards Veromienko. She got fouled by Maiga and will go to the line for 2.
Maiga now. I want to bring Vieru in, though. She's done a pretty good job in that first half. Veromienko scoreless.
Only 2 shots as well.
Yeah. But the thing about that, I think, again, is the tempo is the reason. Belarus really good again, shots for the right people in that slow-down game in that half court. But if the game is a bit more up and down, that's when Veromienko kind of gets looked past a little bit.
The first 2 points come from the foul line. They've taken 23.5 minutes, though. A player who averaged 14 points and 8.5 rebounds, as well as 2 blocks per game across games 1 and 2.
Here it does come in. And the thing about that matchup is she doesn't extend to the perimeter quite as well around Vadieva.
Now, here is Vadieva trying to reel it in again. Vadieva doing a great job of getting back and making amends. Now there's numbers here for Russia. They still have a chance to make those numbers count. Vadieva recovering far side. And then running interference for a teammate, Yevgenia Belikova. And a foul called against Veromienko.
That open floor again means that Belarus still scrambling to match up. Didn't get there quick enough that they gave up the offensive rebound. They have to find a way, Belarus, just to calm down, just to establish, you know, some defensive control here. Somehow, you know, really the ideal situation would to go at Vadieva on the other end, see if you can get that 4th foul on her, and they'll change the game.
3-point shot, Belikova snicks into the rebound. And a crowd of red jerseys. She came away with it, falling down to the deck. Papova moving it on quickly to Bentley. Bentley up against Shilova. And they'll slow it down and play that half-court game around the frame of Veromienko. Bounce pass into Veromienko. Got the contact and will go back to the line.
That's more like it from Belarus. Slow down. Bentley and Veromienko are involved in that two-man game. And now free throws, perfect. Veromienko more points, perfect. And a chance to set your defense.
And a 3rd foul on Russia after 4.5 minutes of the 3rd quarter. Veromienko a chance to build a bit of confidence. It was only 1 of 2 on that previous trip.
I like the sub from Russia, you know, getting out Vadieva now, see if they can go another couple of minutes just with this lead. And I thought that Loganova did a really good job in that first half as well. You know, just gave some energy, gave a little bit of zap to the team.
Both that time for Veromienko, so the gap closed from 10 to 7.
It's going to be the 3rd and Veromienko. Russia have so much depth on their front line. If you think they've got Loganova out there, Viru out there, they've got Maiga, they've got obviously Vadieva, and even Musina they can rotate into those spots as well. So they can keep trying to put bodies up against this thin front line for Belarus.
Belikova trapped and got it away to Vieru. Now Logunova misses the layup. Papova the rebound. She's one of those players on 3 fouls for Belarus, but very diligent and very disciplined when she is in foul trouble, as we've seen at this tournament. Here she is now on the offensive end. Papova going to work in the paint, forced into the miss by Logunova.
Good defense.
Beglova. Vadieva, or Vieru rather, on the interior against Veromienko. Veromienko comes out on top that time. Bentley back to Veromienko. Still can't score a field goal. 0 of 3.
Here come Russia though.
Beglova, they move it around. Shilova across to Belikova. Cross court to this near side. Logunova looking to drive the baseline and travel. Both teams have turned the ball over 8 times. As Musina comes in for Russia.
I think they could try and post her a bit. It's probably her against Sitsina, which is a tough matchup, but she just started to come to life, didn't she, Musina? She really could fill this void now with Vadieva on the bench.
Veromienko with a nice pass in, quick pass as well, allowed Gatsper the time to finish.
Beautiful timing, beautiful movement, beautiful execution from Belarus. Half-court set.
Belarus have scored the last 5 points to halve the deficit. Fedorenkova Driving into a crowded lane was Lagunova.
That's the third on Gaspar, so all three of them got 3 fouls now.
For Russia, Vadieva, Shilova and Maiga also on 3 fouls, but as you said, so many more options to rotate. And to allow those players the best chance possible of making the final stretch of this crucial game. Lagunova at the line. That's 1 of 2, and the rebound pops into the hands of Bentley. 6 points the gap, 3.5 to play in the third. Kasper to Veremienka. Nektarovic to the far side, Snitsina. Snitsina driving under the hoop. Produces a nice bit of footwork, but still a difficult shot, couldn't get it to go.
Scoreless, isn't she? I don't know how much that dislocated finger affects her. It's a shadow of her former self, though.
Vieru, no look pass out to Lagunova on this side. Vieru comes back again, shot falls short. And the rebound reeled in by Gasper. Now Bentley ignited in transition, cross court. Nektarovic, Russia doing a good job of getting back in transition. Veremienka and a whistle away from the ball handler. It's foul number 4 on Russia. So for the remaining 2 minutes and 50 seconds, any foul from their defense sends Belarus to the foul line, shooting foul or not. Bentley to inbound. Veremienka. Tikova moving it into Gasper on the lane. Squeezes between 2 and scores the underarm.
Really smart move from Gaspar. She got so deep on the catch. That was how she made the basket. Position before the ball even came to her.
9 points and 6 boards for her now. Rather under the radar as well. It's a real feature of this Belarus team. Different players on different days chip in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fedorenkova. They backed off her and invited her to shoot, and she made them pay.
It was on the line, otherwise it would have been a 3 as well.
Russia by 6, final 2 minutes and change of the third quarter.
Nothing between them in this third quarter, is it? Always remaining at that 6-point mark.
Bentley around Veremienka. Moves it instead to this near side to Gasper. Gasper going one way and then the other. Running hook wouldn't go down. Ball popping up in the air, grabbed by the tallest player in the pack, Vieru. Fedorenkova. Maiga. Fedorenkova using the body of Maiga to take the ring road around the defense. Vieru into the lane, running through, scores. Continues to play well.
This lineup for Russia, without the focal point, what it has done is kind of had the ball move a bit better, a bit quicker. And will stop Belarus from just being able to stand around on the defensive end. They're having to chase a bit more.
It was actually Vieru's first field goal, but she's done so much more. 5 rebounds, 2 offensive rebounds, a block and a steal.
And great defense as well.
1 minute remaining in the third. Russia by 8. Nusina. Blocked off by Nektarovic. Maiga back to Nusina. Far side, creates the space. Maiga and making it count over on the far side. The triple from the corner from Raisa Nusina, her first of the tournament.
It is all going right for Russia. They've got that double-digit lead. Nusina's hit the first 3. They're rolling.
11 points is the magic mark as well. Final 30 seconds of the quarter. Veremienka trying to get Belarus back in contention, and a foul called underneath on the frustrated Vieru.
This is not the time to pick up the tech.
4
foul on Vieru. So Lloyd, if our calculations are right, this is the number, isn't it? 11 as it stands, and there's still a long way to go. As it stands, though, Russia are going through and Belarus are going out.
Yeah, this is what they needed, and I think that this is an absolute bonus for Russia to have this lead. And in many ways, I don't know if it helps them, to be honest with you. You'd probably be wanting to be a little further, a couple of points off it and need to really keep going in that fourth quarter. Now they ease off thinking that they've already done it.
It's an awkward psychological conundrum that Russia have to contend with over the remaining 10.5 minutes. Belarus get back to 9. Fedorenkova. And Russia very quickly back up to 11. Shot clock turned off at the end of the third. Bentley. He should hold it for the final shot of the quarter. Alex Bentley. And there's a foul on Fedorenkova. So foul shots for Bentley.
I mean, Fedorenkova, she scored, but she couldn't have played a worse 28 seconds, to be honest. She took the shot with 12 seconds to go, so she gave the opportunity back to Belarus to be able to score, especially when they've just subbed in Vadieva. So she's forced Vadieva to play a defensive possession she didn't need to play, potentially picking up the foul. Then she's fouled and sent to the line. But it's all worked out because she scored and now they missed the free throw. So as we were talking about in that first half, you make your own luck, and she's done exactly that.
It was Papova at the line with the foul away from the ball handler. Vadieva runs into Bentley and an easy 2. No! Should have gone down. It's fine margins in the group of death, and that could come back to haunt Belarus, who trail by 11 at the end of 3. As it stands, Russia going through 41-52 with 10 minutes to play. Well, Russia certainly doing it the hard way after a tough start in this one against Belarus, but they add to an 18-8 second quarter with a 19-14 third quarter in their favour. Russia up by 11, and that is exactly the number they need to hit or above to go through to the knockout stages at the expense of Belarus. So Belarus have to battle back here in the fourth quarter, otherwise it could be the end of the line for them.
What a third quarter from Russia. Really, really impressed with their turnaround from that first quarter, really. Really have established themselves both ends of the floor. Just played with a desire that we didn't see through that first 10 minutes. I think it's been helped by the fact that Belarus have had those three-point woes, but, all credit to Russia. And now the question is, with this lead, having made that mark, got to that magical double-digit or 11-point lead, how are they going to react? Are they going to continue to be as aggressive, or are they going to become passive again?
And certainly what we've learnt in this group is never write Belarus off. They will battle until the bitter end. And the shooting numbers you feel for them have to improve. They're 3 of 17 from downtown for 18%. They're only shooting 28% from two-point range as well. They start the fourth quarter down by 11. Russia start the fourth with the ball, looking to extend this lead. Vadieva, 12 points to lead all scorers.
And she got through the whole of that third quarter without picking up the fourth foul as well.
Fedorenkova for 3. The Russian run continues. 14 points the lead.
We talked three-point shooting coming in. Russia having only made 7 in the whole tournament before this one. Started to find their range, and Belarus seem to have lost theirs.
7 over the first 2 games for Russia. They've got 6 here in this one. Vadieva looking to run interference. Bursting around into the lane goes her club teammate, Raisa Musina, who's scoring at will now.
This is what we expected from Russia, isn't it? This is what they were billed as coming into this tournament. But we haven't seen it. We haven't seen Musina do anything. Now she's looking confident.
Mktarovic looking to work with Papova. She shoots this shot after the defense slipped. Missed it. Snitsina with the offensive rebound. She puts up another shot. Still can't get going, Snitsina. And a foul inside.
And these are plays that you don't expect from Belarus. They get the offensive rebound. Snitsina takes the tough, quick shot. So often from Belarus we see them recover, throw it back out, kill the tempo again, and then have a good offensive play. Now they're the ones that are struggling.
Katarina Snitsina averaged 11.3 points at the 2017 tournament. She's shot just 5 of 30 at this tournament. She's 0 of 6 here today. Shilova. Shilova with a static 3, wouldn't go this time. Musina underneath it, offensive rebound, turns around, can't score. And Voromienko the rebound for Belarus. They need to go on a run now. Snitsina. Nice pass this time. And lurking on the baseline was Papova. 13 the differential. Vadieva to Fedorenkova. Maiga making the cut, found by Fedorenkova. Really well run by Russia.
It's like a different team. Maiga, the little slip because she sprints into the ball screen. And Belarus just look a step slower. Look like they don't have the legs.
Snitsina. Papova. Tarasova and then Papova. Belarus back within 13. Back-to-back scores for Papova as they try and stay in the fight. She's up to 12 points now. Musina into Vadieva. Turns and gets fouled and she'll go to the line.
Fourth foul on Voromienko.
7.5 minutes still to play.
Still a long time, and you know, with the 11-point lead or the 11 points needed, it's only really, well, you know, a 2-point game. So you've got to keep that in perspective if you're Russia.
If Belarus could get it lower than 11, then they would be relying on the correct result for them in the later game, but it would at least keep them breathing until later on this evening.
And that game's such a 50-50. I don't think you can put either team as a favourite going into that one. So
Tarasova, 14 the gap now. Voromienko remains on court with those 4 fouls. Papova up against Maiga, one-on-one in the paint, twisting and turning, but missing.
Very good one-on-one defense from Maiga.
Fedorenkova passes out to the double team, gets it back far side against Tarasova. And a foul on Tarasova. It's 3 on Belarus already here in the 4th.
That's not what you want when you're chasing a game, to be picking up these fouls so early. So all Russia have to do then is pound it to the inside, to Maiga, to Vadieva, to Musina as well. And draw some contact, get themselves to the line really easy.
And to Vieru, who's come back in. Musina to Vadieva. Fedorenkova. And there's foul number 4. We've played only 3 and a bit minutes here in the 4th, so for the remainder of this game, any fouls from the Belarus defense send Russia to the foul line.
Well, they can't foul at all because Papova's got 4 now as well. So Papova out there with 4, Voromienko out there with 4 as well.
Russia just wearing Belarus down here. Fedorenkova with the long 2, falls short. Vadieva an offensive rebound. They have to dig deep on defense for another 14 seconds perhaps. Vadieva puts it up early and scores. 15 for Vadieva.
It's an incredible shot. I mean, Voromienko's just a little bit longer than Vadieva. Looked like she played some pretty good defense. Vadieva fading away. Such a soft touch. Good defense from Musina, it looked like.
And what a way to recover from Vadieva's fouled out, disappointing showing yesterday. And she shot just 3 of 10 from the field. She's got her second double-double in 3 games. 15 points, 11 rebounds now. And how efficient has she been? 7 of 9 from the field. 16 points, the Russian lead. Bentley on the burst to the basket, misses the layup. And Russia are looking to put this one to bed early. They continue their charge down the floor, and they continue their charge towards the knockout stages.
And Veromienko can't foul because she's on 4, and if she fouls, it's giving up free throws.
Bentley is getting desperate for Belarus already with 6 minutes to play. Bentley, the long 2, is too long. 18 points the gap. Russia with an 8-point safety net in terms of that 11-point advantage they require. Vadieva to move Sinner to shoot the outside shot, and the Russians are red hot.
Just incredible. This team has just been nowhere all tournament. Look at that. Vadieva draws the double. Messina couldn't buy a 3. Now she doesn't miss one. Incredible. The next one that we haven't even discussed at this point, Tim, is 19 points is the next figure. If Russia win by 19, then they're going to finish second in the group, which could be, well, they will finish second in the group behind Serbia if Serbia win later. So for Russia, I mean, this could be an absolute gold mine. You know, they're guaranteed a place in the playoff stages, and then depending on the result of the one later, they're either going to come third or potentially they could come second.
And just a reminder, the group winners go directly to the quarter-finals. The second and third place teams in the group go to the quarter-final qualifier rounds to try and make it to the final 8. And the fourth place team in the group gets eliminated, and as it stands, that is Belarus.
And obviously the second or third place determines the seed for who you play in the crossover as well. So, you know, just that one more spot for Russia could make a far easier game for them going into that quarter-final qualifier.
The three-time champions have waited long enough, but they have come to life here this afternoon. Maria Vadieva, the key part of that with a 15-point, 12-rebound double-double. Still plenty of time for Belarus, but no real signs of optimism at the moment. Snitsina finally hits on her 7th attempt of the game.
And a huge 3 for Belarus. I mean, we've constantly talked all tournament about how just one shot can change the confidence of a team.
She picked the perfect moment to pounce with still 5 minutes to play. Vieru away from Pava, who did well to resist the foul and then to grab the rebound as well. Trapped on the baseline. Did she step on it? Yes, she did.
I think she passed the ball on the baseline when it bounced. It's the effort, though. Look at Ryu. The reason this is a turnover, look at Ryu there, just all over the ball, making it difficult, not allowing that easy pass to happen.
Corner 3 doesn't go. Bentley the rebound. Now can Belarus build some momentum? Snitsina didn't even have to think twice about it. She's starting to heat up now. Back-to-back threes, and it's a Belarusian backlash.
Well, said one basket is all it needs for someone and the team to get confidence. Snitsina knows that. She's trying to bring her team back. Been there a lot of times before, and now she's playing on the defensive end as well.
Quite incredible. The momentum shifts team to team, but player to player as well. Yet another twist in the tail here. And we have a timeout with 4.5 minutes to play, and Belarus closing the gap from 20 down to 14.
Good timeout. They're just trying to draw something up here, Russia, to see if they can get a score, just steady themselves again without getting nervous.
Snitsina was 5 of 30 from the field before draining those back-to-back triples, having missed her previous 6 shots in this game.
Screen the screener. You're going in here, okay? Play one-on-one. Whenever you play one-on-ones,
so no doubt with 4.5 to play, the initial hurdle now, the initial target for Belarus is to try and take the deficit back to lower than 11.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to think a margin like this, maybe the game's out of a step too far, but not if Selena continues to shoot it the way she has. And the fight they show in every game. But the important thing for them is, try to get it under 11. If they can do that quickly, if they can secure that, then try to secure the win for the game.
2 of 4 from downtown. Snitsina missed her first 2, missed her first 6 shots in the game. And then 2 triples to get Belarus back within sight of that 11-point mark. Where they'll try and get the deficit underneath. Lucina, she's been lighting it up as well recently, missed that one from the open spot on the floor. It's going to be Belarus ball. As we've said so many times through the course of the week, you just cannot write this Belarus team off. They will continue to scrap and to claw their way back into contention. Snitsina misses that one though. Vadieva looking to drive and forced into the miss. Now a chance in transition for Belarus. And a foul as Lektarovic was going straight to the hole. Only Russia's second foul of the quarter.
Unfortunate there. Belarus really could have been an easy turnover.
Great defense there, though, to block the shot from Vadieva. And then what about that block from behind by Belikova? Slamming the defensive door in the face of Belarus. Vadieva with the pass to Musina. A telepathic understanding between those two.
Yeah, well, they grew up together, played for the same club team, known each other since they were youngsters. In fact, they still are youngsters.
21 and 20. Long range 2 for Varamienko, who's playing on those 4 fouls. The gap closed to 14, 3.5 to play.
This is where Belarus, they need to change their style of game so much to get back into it. So usually methodical, they need to be the ones to push the tempo now.
There goes Beglova. Stop and pop on the move, got it to drop. Final 3 minutes. Bentley takes on the 3, and the bank is open on a Sunday for Alex Bentley.
Well, we said at the half, Bentley needs to step up. She needs to make some threes.
Just when you think Russia are going to put this one to bed, Belarus come back and land a big blow of their own. 13 the margin now. Vieru into Vadieva, one-on-one with Varamienko on those 4 fouls. And there's another. It's the end of the line for Anastasia Varamienko, but is it the end of the line for Belarus? Fouled out on only 5 points. 5 rebounds, a block and a steal. Only 1 of 7 from the field. And that one came just a few moments ago. Vadieva at the line. It's now 16 points and 13 rebounds for Vadieva. Tag 1 more point onto that tally. 15 points, the Russian lead. And those individual points from the foul line, so crucial potentially. Gasper, Snitsina, across to the near side, Papova steps in for the long range 2, it's too long, offensive rebound grabbed by Lektarovic though, a fresh 14 on the shot clock. Passing lane disrupted by Musina. Snitsina still grabs the loose ball, steps inside, back out Papova, stuck to like glue. Bentley is free, but she was on the sideline to turn it over.
And Russia just with a great effort. They gave up the offensive rebound, but that was because Musina fell to the floor and they were all scrambling, trying to help out, and had bad matchups that they wouldn't have had otherwise. So they were unlucky on the rebound, and then they just scrambled. They just worked hard. They just got out. They got out to Bentley, forced her to be unsure of where she was on the floor.
Beglova, 12 points so far for her. And it goes to Maiga. It was a risky pass. Vadieva recovers, but then still turns it over. A minute and 49 to play, but if you are joining us late, this is still effectively a close game because Russia are through if they win by 11 or more. Belarus have a chance of remaining in the competition if they get that down to less than 11. 15 as it stands. Papova, a big three-point shot. Got it! Belarus with that never-say-die attitude.
Well called play. Well designed, the pick and pop. Now Russia aren't switching. It will allow you to get open on that sort of play.
The pick and Popova. Beglova. Vadieva, high entry pass, and the foul from Gasper.
2 shots, and Vadieva's usually pretty good from the line.
Every play, every shot is clutch now. Vadieva.
I think if you're Belarus, go back to that same action. 2 players on the side of the floor, Papova and Bentley run the pick and pop, see how Russia guard it. Russia probably have got to switch to stop the 3 being open. In that case, you can attack either Maiga or Vadieva with Bentley. Yep, here it is.
14 the margin. Here we go, far side. Getting into close proximity this time. Offensive rebound, Liktarovic, a fresh 14. Papova. Final minute approaching here. Belarus could desperately do with a score. Papova driving in, misses it. And what an effort from Maiga to wrestle down the rebound.
That's Gasper gone. What a play. That could be enough right there, that play. That defensive sequence from Russia. You know, they chased a little bit, but Belarus had a good look at the ring. They couldn't finish. Then it's the foul. It's Gasper going out, and it becomes 2 free throws at the other end of the floor.
The Belarusians falling like flies. And Russia is starting to fly here at EuroBasket 2019. Maiga's first trip to the line. She makes just 1 of 2, but an offensive rebound, Beglova. The clock in Russia's favor right now. Shot clock to 5. Beglova into Vadieva, tried to move it on 1 further to Maiga. Musina for 3, wouldn't go down. Maiga, another offensive rebound on the offensive end after 1 big one on the defensive end.
They need to start fouling. They're not going to get back in the game otherwise. Now they can't.
Yeah, the clock is Russia's friend, but Belarus forcing a turnover. Oh, and an unsportsmanlike foul call. Now, Liktarovic wasn't going down to get the ball. It was a great effort from Russia to put the body on the line to fight for it.
This is a huge call, because if this unsportsmanlike, they get 2 free throws and possession. Obviously, the lead is 15, but it's basically a 4-point game.
Belarus was prepared to put her body in harm's way to try and grab the loose ball for Russia. Instead, called for an unsportsmanlike foul. Just when we thought we were done with the twists. There's another one in this tale.
And they just had a huge defensive sequence, Russia. Oh, they're going to need another one here. You know, this will be the game on this defensive possession.
She gets the second, Liktarovic, which takes the margin down to 14. Belarus need to reduce the margin to 10 or fewer. So it's effectively a 4-point game.
Just need a quick score. It's all this important right now. It doesn't have to be a 3. Obviously, if you can get one, great, but...
Snitsina to get the ball in for Bentley. Precious seconds ticking away. Alex Bentley for 3, well contested, didn't touch the rim. Snitsina to balance the baseline, but turned over to Belikova, turned back to Belarus. Bentley for three. Wouldn't go down, and that surely is it right there.
So pass the ball, pass the ball. There it is.
Here you go, Vadieva to score. The Russian resuscitation is complete. They are back from the brink in the group of death. Only 1.3 seconds remaining. Russia up by 16. Have a bit of breathing room. And it looks as though they will book their place in the quarter-final qualifiers. Bentley could close the gap here to 13, but then they would need a 3, and she misses anyway, so that's it.
It's a very difficult ask. She had to make all 3 foul shots, but then you didn't have the opportunity to get the tap out for a 3. No chances being taken by Coach Langer. Call the timeout just to advance the ball. That way, they've got to go the whole length of the floor in that 1 second. Even if they turn it over.
Belarus in need of a miracle. It would have to be a heave and hope 3 with a foul, wouldn't it? That's about it.
Yeah, but they've got to get the ball first of all as well. So first thing is a 5-second violation if you can. That perhaps gives you a glimmer of hope. But obviously if you're Russia, you just run away from any sort of pass. Don't get near it to be allowed to be called for the foul.
Hope has faded fast for Belarus. And we talked about the depth of this Russian roster. You saw the bench scoring there, 17-8 in Russia's favour.
Well, you look at the scoreboard today we have in the arena, it is the first time we've seen this spread of numbers. Vadieva 21, Musina 13, Beglova to 12. So they've got 3 people in double figures, which they haven't had. But then as well as that, Belyakova 7, Fedorenkova 6, Shilova 6. You know, a host of other, Maiga 5, a host of other players chipping in as well.
Musina to inbound. Russia were barely breathing in this group, but they have breathed new life into their lungs, and they're alive and kicking in this campaign and through to the knockout stages with a big win over Belarus. Their offense finally coming to life for 76 points and a 14-point margin of victory, which means they are through and Belarus are out. The final score, Belarus 62, Russia 76.
It took 2.5 games, but we finally saw the Russian team that we expected here in Zrenjanin. Really good second-half performance from them, a real team performance as well. Big smiles from the Russian players, and rightly so. This was a team which had some, some teams fearing coming into this competition, and I think they showed why going into the second half there. So impressive performance from Russia. Question is, how far can they take that now?
You look at the shooting numbers, Belarus poor from the field, 27% on the inside, 29% on the outside. Russia better in both of those categories. And the rebounding numbers in their favour as well overall. They had 1 more turnover, but able to win the game by 14 thanks to that much better shooting, and 3 players in double figures led by the 21-point, 13 rebound double-double of the 20-year-old Maria Vadieva, backed up by her 21-year-old club teammate Raisa Musina, who finally came to play with 13 points. And there you see Papova's team high 15 for Belarus coming in vain. The other player for Russia in double figures, as we'll see, Elena Beglova, who had 12. A couple of steals on her stat line as well, but smiles all round for Russia. They are through to the knockout stages As we see those top scorers, Bentley and Gasper in double figures for Belarus as well, but they struggled to shoot the ball as a team. And their defense didn't live up to the performances of games 1 and 2 in that regard. Serbia against Belgium still to come here in Group D in Zrenjanin. We'll see you for that one. For more action at the 2019 Women's EuroBasket.